Really? Shantae again?
No!
I'm done! God damn it, Ammo Baron. I knew that deed would come back to bite me in the ass.
Just try to stop me. Sorry. Oh god!
Nothing like a bath to really make you feel clean. You know, it's funny. I haven't had a bath since I've been trapped here. In fact, I didn't even know that I owned a... Oh, crap. Ah! Oh, God!
Yes, I finally have you. What's wrong?
Why would you use a bear trap to capture me? I'm not a half genie anymore. This shit hurts me. Oh god, the pain.
Right, I was afraid of that. Well, anyway, I need your help.
Well, have you ever thought of just fucking asking me? Oh.
Sorry, I might have gone a bit too into character.
You think? Damn it, just get me out of here.
Right, okay, so if I'm facing this part, and this part goes here, Right, so I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I didn't even make it. Well, I mean, Risky did, but I didn't.
Roll the intro.
Are you sure?
Just roll the intro, and we'll figure out during that.
Well, maybe if I just loosen this part.
Yep, I'm back with another Shantae game, and before you ask, there's one more game after this, which is currently out, so look forward to that video coming later. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is a direct sequel to Risky's Revenge, taking place who knows how long afterwards. Following the events of Risky's Revenge, we find out that Shantae hasn't been adjusting very well to being human, seeing as her friends and uncle would rather her not participate in fighting Ammo Baron's army. But Shantae's gonna do what Shantae's gonna do. What exactly is it that she does? Well, she gets in trouble with the government of Sequinland for stopping the owner of the town. Damn, I knew that would come back to bite us in the ass. Enter Risky, who is convinced that Shantae has something to do with her missing crew and gear. Guess what? She doesn't. This sets us up to the actual game where we go from island to island searching not only for the Cacklebats, but also Risky's gear. The first area, Saliva Island, is named such because of the water I have to assume is saliva, given the side quest we do to access the dungeon on this island. The dungeon itself seems to be based off of Dribble Fountain from the first game, at least in regards of overall looks. This one mainly utilizing basic platforming to get around up until you find Risky's pistol. These games have always had Metroidvania elements, but this is when the series jumped headfirst into the dunk tank that is Metroidvania. And the pistol is the first example of this, as throughout the rest of the game, you will gain other weapons and items on top of Shantae's hair whip that you can upgrade, like your standard Metroidvania. But I'll cover that later on. After beating the boss, which is an eye plant that shoots lasers, we gain the next map from a Tinkerbat, which is odd and we never really find out why. Before going to the next island, we head back to Scuttletown to retrieve Squid Baron's, fresh squid oil. Don't ask. At Spiderweb Island, we find Roddy Tops, who is stuck in a spiderweb. Go figure. We get her down, and this leads into one of my most favorite and hated parts of the game. The music gets all hectic and upbeat as we have to carry Roddy through several different areas. I like this part for the fact that it's extremely different compared to the rest of the gameplay. I don't like it because you die in one hit. Luckily, it just sends you back to the entrance of whatever area you're in, but it still gets frustrating at times. Once back with her brother, Abner, we go help Poe and receive the key to access the Cackle Tower, our next dungeon. I say key, what I really mean is a disembodied head. Now then, inside of the Cackle Tower, the main goal of this dungeon is to activate switches to turn on what I'm calling a giant fan to climb higher and higher into the dungeon. The item we receive is Risky's hat, and apparently her hat is big enough to use like a parachute. thus adding more options of navigation to the game's platforming. Hey, I hope you like spiders, because the boss of the dungeon is the giant spider that was trying to eat Roddy. This boss is really simple, just use Risky's hat when it spits out fire and then hit it with your glorious locks of death. Once again, we receive the next map from a Tinkerbat, and we head off back to Scuttletown. Glorious Tan Line Island, home to sand, sand, evil curses, and sand. Did I mention sand? Also home to our third dungeon, or labyrinth as apparently they're called. After doing a side quest that revolves around a mummy's curse, we gain access to the labyrinth, only to learn that it's not a labyrinth, but actually a castle, and you've now just been mistaken for their queen. The only reason why I mention this part is that it might as well be a chunk of the next labyrinth, as we spend a decent amount of time sneaking around it. Did not expect it to become a stealth game, but that was a nice surprise. After freeing Sky, Roddy, and Risky, who all came looking for you and were mistaken for the queen, we are introduced to the actual queen, and that resemblance sure is uncanny. We now have a golden pickaxe and have access to the Lost Catacombs. The Lost Catacombs, in terms of gameplay, revolves around vertical platforming, which becomes even more apparent as you move through it and gain access to the new Pirate's Gear Risky's Scimitar, which allows you to bounce on enemies and certain platforms all while doing damage. The boss for this labyrinth is probably my least favorite in the game. It's Squid Baron. Now, for those of you who haven't seen my previous Shantae video, which you really should go do that, I'll just have the link right here. Just click on that. Or played Risky's Revenge, then this boss isn't really a problem. However, he was the first boss in Risky's Revenge, making his appearance here, while funny in a haha, they're referencing Risky's Revenge kind of way, something that would only make sense to people who have played Risky's Revenge, just ends up feeling kind of lazy. That being said, he did get a couple new upgrades like a metal shell. It still doesn't feel justified to me. With Squid Baron down for the count, we again gain access to the next island. As I said before, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is a Metroidvania, meaning playing through the areas and navigating is very much just exploring until you find the correct path. This also means that we get upgrades in the means of Risky's pirate gear. The gear is as follows: a pistol for hitting switches from a distance, a hat for slowing one's descent and raising up with airflow, a scimitar for bouncing on enemies and platforms, boots for dashing, much like Samus's speed booster, and a cannon for triple jumps. Don't forget about the upgrades, because we can upgrade not only Shantae's hair whip, but also the pistol and scimitar to do more damage. In previous games, you had the ability to transform via Shantae's genie magic, which for reasons that get explained at the end of Risky's Revenge, cough cough, she doesn't have that anymore. So transformation is out, meaning it gives the level designers more interesting ways of creating dungeons and navigating through them. Now, like I've said already, this game is a Metroidvania, meaning it has secrets to obtain. In the game, you can gain more health by finding 4 secret heart squids in order to make a heart container. We also need to find Cacklebats and retrieve their dark magic in order to get the true ending to the game. So be on the lookout for those 20 Cacklebats. Now then, I didn't touch on everything gameplay-wise, but that's because I've already done so in my previous Shantae videos. Go watch those if you haven't already done so. You've beaten the labyrinths, found the Cacklebats, and have everything upgraded. It's time to face the resurrected Pirate Master who managed to regain power and capture Risky. It seems a dark cloud has appeared over Scuttletown due to the Pirate Master's dark magic, which has transformed Sequinland's castle into the Pirate Master's personal fortress. This is by far the best labyrinth in the game, just based on how it uses all of your pirate gear that you've gained throughout the game. It's such a nice blend that you don't really see that often in games anymore. It's time for the final showdown against the Pirate Master. And of course he wouldn't make it easy on us. Yep, he takes all of the pirate gear that we've obtained and he uses it to regain all of his power. Why is it Shantae is the cause of 99% of her own problems? That being said, the one thing he can't take from us is our experience and our patented hair whip of death. So it's time to deliver a message straight from our hair to his derriere. Halfway through the fight, he threatens to kill Risky if we don't hand over all of the dark magic that we've been collecting. We comply, only to find out that the lamp had been converting all that magic into light magic, meaning we can restore Shantae's genie half. This is when the battle gets turned up a notch, as with our genie powers back, we start wrecking his shit. That's right, 999 damage across the board. Take that, you skeleton motherfucker! After shooting him with a couple missiles, we finally defeat him, and with Shantae's reobtained genie powers, she seals him away for good. The game ends on a somber note of Shantae and Risky understanding each other a bit more after their journey together to save the world, even if Risky doesn't want to admit it. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse was a very fun experience and felt like a more complete experience than Risky's Revenge felt like. The music I feel is only improved in this game, with my favorite probably being Run Run Roddy Tops. Art-wise, the game hasn't really changed since Risky's Revenge. It's just slightly more polished in some spots, seeing as a good chunk of Shantae's basic animations are reused from that game. The level design is some of the best in the series so far, as everything feels really diverse, and yeah, while we have had the desert forest swampish areas in past games, we haven't had the underworld or fucking floating fortress or snow area. It just makes the game feel fresh and new. The addition of the pirate gear was a good step to take the series. In fact, I wouldn't have minded if we had gotten one more game before she got her powers back, because I feel like it forced WayForward to think outside the box a bit when it came to gameplay. That being said, here are my issues with the game. A lot of reused assets from Risky's Revenge, causing Shantae to randomly have the pirate bandana only when she uses the pirate gear, which is a bit confusing to be honest. The constant returning to Scuttletown. This isn't as big of an issue because it changes every time you have to do so, but just the amount that it breaks up the flow of the game kinda ruins it for me. That being said, I would recommend this game to newbies of the series. It's enough of a Metroidvania that people who are unfamiliar with Shantae will have an easier time getting into the game as a whole. If you want to pick up the game and try it, you have quite the options. It's available on 3DS, Wii U, PS4, Xbox One, Steam, and Amazon Fire. I personally recommend the 3DS version as it feels more natural to play.
Hey, you did it. Is there a chance that you regained your connection, by the way? Because I would really love to leave.
Yeah, I got the connection back. You sure you don't want to stay in that body?
As tempting as that is, I'd prefer not to. You know, not to live inside of a game for all eternity and everything.
You know what? Fair enough. Goodbye, everyone. It's been fun. I will always cherish these past few months. Like that time I caught Bolo peeking on me while I was changing. Or that time I caught him peeking on Sky while she was changing. Anyways, I'm out. See you all when I review Half Genie Hero! Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I know, another Shantae video, whatever. Anywho, if you like this video, feel free to hit that subscribe button and like button. Check out some of my other content while you're at it. And yes, I will try and make it a point to get a video out every month. So look forward to that in the future. I also have a Twitter. Go follow me on Twitter, please. That's how I keep people updated. And I don't want people to think that I'm just dead. So just do me and yourselves a favor and go follow me on Twitter. It's right here. Just go. @GbcTyler. Just do it. Come on. I believe in you. Anywho, I'm GbcTyler, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.